Level 1, the basement, the invisible year. Right now, your POV is a mirror. That is your entire world. A wall-to-wall mirror in a subterranean studio in Seoul, covered in smudges and condensation from your own breath. You don't have a name anymore. You have a number. Or you're just the kid who came from Sydney, or the one who passed the open audition. Your day starts at 5 a.m. If you're lucky enough to still be in school, you go to school, but you're not really there. You are memorizing chord progressions under your desk or doing calf raises at the back of the classroom. By 4 p.m., you run to the company building. You swipe your ID card. That beep, that's the sounds of your human rights temporarily pausing until midnight. Now let's talk about the schedule, because people think it's just dancing, and it's not. It's vocal lessons where a coach presses their thumb into your diaphragm until you bruise, telling you that your tone lacks color. It's dance classes where you perform the exact same 16-bar routine for 4 hours straight. If one person's pinky finger is at a 45-degree angle and everyone else is at 30, the music stops. You start over. Your knees feels like they have glass in them. And then there's the scale. Every Friday morning, there's a silver digital scale in the middle of the hallway. You walk up to it in your thinnest clothes. A staff member stands there with a clipboard. If you are 200 grams over your target weight from last week, you don't get a lecture, but you get the look. It's a look of profound disappointment, like you've personally insulted the company's stock value. You spend the next 3 days living on iced Americanos and half an apple, checking your face in every window reflection to see if your jawline has sharpened enough to survive the weekend. The hardest part of level 1 is not the physical pain, though. It's the psychological warfare of the monthly evaluations. Imagine standing in front of a desk of 6 executives who are eating salads and looking at their phones while you pour your soul into a song that you've practiced 300 times. They don't clap. They look at your files and they whisper to each other and they say, "Your expression is stiff. Fix it by the next month." You look around the room and at the other 15 trainees. They are your roommates. You share a cramped 3-bedroom apartment with them, sleep on bunk beds, share one bathroom, and know exactly how they sound when they cry themselves to sleep at night. But there are also the people trying to take your food off your plate. Only 4 of you will debut. The other 11 will go home with nothing but ruined joint and a massive gap in their resume. You learn to love them with a guard up. You never fully trust a smile in level 1. Level 2, the Hunger Games, the rookie and the first win. Now, let's say you survive. You make the cut. The company calls you into the glass office, hands you a contract that you don't read because you're too busy crying, and tells you that you're debuting next month. Welcome to level 2, the Hunger Games. Your POV completely shifts here. Suddenly, you aren't looking at a mirror anymore. You're looking at a red recording light on the music show camera. You think the hard work is over? It's just multiplied by 10, but now it's broadcast to millions. Your life becomes a blur of 20-hour days. You wake up at 1 a.m. to go to the salon. Why 1 a.m.? Because there are 30 other rookie groups debuting this season, and the hair and makeup salons are bottleneck. You sit in a chair with your eyes closed, 3 people pulling at your hair, 1 person doing your nails, and someone else applying foundation to your neck. You are a canvas. You don't choose your hair color. You show up, and suddenly you're beach blonde, your scalp is burning from the chemical treatment, and you're told to smile just because this is your concept. From the salon, you get thrown to a black carnival van. That van becomes your real home. You sleep with your neck bent against the window and waking up every time the driver hits a speed bump on the Olympic Expressway. You arrive at the broadcasting station at 4 a.m. for dry rehearsals. It's freezing cold. The stage is slippery. You perform your song to an empty auditorium while tired production assistants drink canned coffee. Then you sit in a tiny windowless waiting room for the next 10 hours. The room smells like hairspray, spicy rice cake, and sweat. You share it with another rookie group. You have to bow 90 degrees every time a senior artist walks past your door. Your back aches from bowing. Your throat is dry from saying your group's introductory tagline 500 times a day. This is the level where you realize that you are the product in an hyper-competitive market. You start checking the real-time music charts every hour. If your song debuts at number 97, your manager's mood sours. The atmosphere in the van turns icy. You realize that if debut doesn't gain traction, the company will stop investing in you and you will become a one comeback wonder. But then, let's say it happens. Your song goes viral on TikTok. A specific fan cam of you blinking at the end of a performance hit 3 million views overnight. You stand on that music show stage at the end of the week, the confetti cannon goes off, and they call your group's name for your first win. You drop to your knees. The tears are real. They are the tears of a person who hasn't slept more than 3 hours a night for 6 months. You hold that cold, heavy plastic trophy, and for exactly 30 seconds, while the encore music plays, you feel invincible. You think, I made it. This is the top. But as you walk off the stage, wiping the mascara off your face, your manager hands you your phone. It's the first time you've had unrestricted access to it in months. You open the comment. The top comment has 10,000 likes. Their vocals are so shaking during the live encore. Did they even practice? Is that the visual of the group? And just like that, the high vanishes. You realize the valley at level 2 is much deeper than the one at level 1. Level 3, the golden cage, domestic stardom, and bandom. If you survive the comments, you graduate to level 3, the golden cage. This is domestic stardom. You are a household name in Korea, and you're starting to break all across Asia. Your POV now is the tinted window of that black van, looking out at crowds of people holding cameras with lenses the size of your forearm. You can't walk down the streets anymore. Let's make it concrete. You want an iced latte from the local mega coffee shop down the street from your apartment? You cannot go. If you step outside without a mask, hat, and 2 security guards, within 3 minutes, a crowd will form. Within 10 minutes, traffic will stop. Within 20 minutes, there will be articles online tracking what shoes that you are wearing. Your world shrinks to 4 places. Your luxury apartment, which you now share with fewer members, or maybe you get your own place. The company building, the airport, and the venue. That's it. The entire world outside is a movie you're watching through a glass pane. This is also the level where you meet your super fans, the obsessive fans. This is the most terrifying shift in your POV. You wake up at 3 a.m. in your apartment because you hear a faint clicking sound at your front door. You look through the p-hole. It's a teenager trying to guess your keypad code. You change your phone number and within 10 minutes, you get a text message saying, "Why did you change your phone number? I like the old one better." You realize your privacy wasn't just invaded, it was completely liquidated. But on the flip side, the money starts arriving. You finally clear your Trainee debt, that massive bill the company accumulated for your housing, food, and trainee over the years. You get your first real payout. You buy your parents a flat or a car. You walk into a luxury store and the manager closes the shop just for you. They hand you champagne while you pick out bags that cost more than your father used to make in 6 months. It feels incredible, but it's a trade-off. The luxury is a cushion for the impact of losing your humanity. In level 3, your identity belongs to the fandom. If you're a guy, you belong to millions of girls who view you as their ideal, untouchable partner. If you are a girl, you are held to an impossible standard of purity, cuteness, and perfection. Heaven forbid that you fall in love. If you want to date someone, let's say a member of another group that you met backstage, it becomes a military operation. You ride in the trunk of a friend's car to an underground parking lot in an obscure neighborhood. You meet in an apartment with blinds drawn tightly, terrified that a reporter from a tabloid is sitting in a car across the street with a night vision camera. If you get caught, your career could end overnight. The fans will call it a betrayal. The company will force you to write a handwritten apology letter on Instagram, begging for forgiveness because you dare to have a human emotion. You start to view everyone around you as a potential leak. Your stylist, your backup dancers, even your childhood friends who start asking you for concert tickets or insider gossip. You stop talking about how you really feel. You put on the idol persona the moment you open your eyes, and you don't take it off until you're under the blankets to sleep at night. Level 4, the global breakthrough. Welcome to level 4. Your POV now is an airport terminal at 4 a.m., looking down at a first-class boarding pass, completely unsure what day of the week it is or what country you're currently standing in. At this level, you live in a permanent state of circadian rhythm chaos. You fly from Seoul to Los Angeles, then to London, then to Paris, then to Tokyo, all within 3-week window. You don't experience this city. You don't experience these cities. You experience the airport VIP lounge, the inside of a Maybach Sprinter van, the presidential suite of a 5-star hotel, and the backstage tunnel of an area. Let's talk about the arenas. Walking out onto a stage in front of 20,000 people who are all screaming your name, holding light sticks that are synced via Bluetooth to flash in perfect unison of your music. It is a spiritual experience. The bass just doesn't hit your ears. It rattles your ribcage. When you yell, "What's up, London?" and 20,000 voices roar back, the adrenaline rush is more powerful than any on earth. For 2 hours, you are a god. You are the center of the universe. But the drop-off after the show is violent. Think about it. At 11 p.m., you are standing under the stadium lights, covered in glitter, showered in love by thousands of people who would die for you. By midnight, you are sitting alone in a silent hotel room in your bathrobe, eating a club sandwich from a room service that tastes like cardboard because your taste buds are fried from the flight. The silence is deafening. It rings in your ears, literally because of the monitors. You look at your phone. It's 4 a.m. in Seoul. Everyone you know, your family, your old friends, are asleep. You want to talk to someone about how insane the concert was, but there's no one there. You can't go down to the hotel bar because there are 200 fans camped outside the lobby entrance, singing your songs into the night. You are trapped in a 5-star cell. This is the level where the physical toll shifts from your joints to your mind. Many idols at this stage start relying on intravenous vitamin drips just to stay upright during interviews. You are doing American morning shows where you have to be bright, bubbly, and speak fluent English at 6 a.m. Then you're doing a 6-hour sound check, then a 3-hour concert, and then the after party where you have to shake hands with brand executive and streaming platform billionaires. You become hyper aware that you are the tentpole of a multi-million-dollar corporate ecosystem. If you get sick, if your voice fell, if you twist your ankle, hundreds of people lose their jobs, tours get cancelled, stock prices dip. The pressure is a heavy weight on your chest every time you breathe. You start taking sleeping pills just to get 4 hours of non-interrupted rest, and you take beta blockers before you go on stage just to keep your heart from leaping out of your throat from the performance anxiety. Level 5, the global icon. Finally, you reach the summit. Level 5. You aren't just a K-pop star anymore. You are a cultural institution. You are the global ambassador for Chanel or Dior. You sit front row at Paris Fashion Week next to Hollywood royalty. Your face is on a billboard in Times Square and is 30 stories tall. What is your POV now? Your POV is a security detail. It's a wall of 6'4" men in dark suits who stand between you and the rest of the human race. At level 5, you have achieved everything you dreamed of when you were 15 years old, sweating in that basement mirror. You have the money, more that you can spend in 3 lifetimes. You have the prestige, you have the legacy, but you realize that the top of the mountain is incredibly narrow and the air up here is very thin. You have no peers. The members of your group, the one that you went through the trenches with, you love them. But after 7, 8, 10 years of being trapped together in this high pressure cooker, your relationships have evolved. You're like business partners now. You have separate managers, separate stylists, separate lawyers. When the tour ends, you don't hang out. You fly to opposite side of the world to shoot your individual luxury campaigns. The brotherhood or sisterhood that sustained you in level 2 has become a highly profitable corporate alliance. You look in the mirror and you don't even recognize the person looking back. You see the perfect teeth, the porcelain skin maintained by thousands of dollars of laser treatments, the designer clothes that were gifted to you before they even hit the runway. But you feel hollow. Because at level 5, you aren't allowed to grow up. The industry requires you to stay frozen in time as a perfect, accessible fantasy. If you are 30 years old, you still have to act like the innocent 20-year-old the fan fell in love with. You look at your schedule for the next 2 years. It is planned out of the tour. Met Gala in May. Album release in August. Stadium tour in October to April. You don't own your time. You don't own your hair. You don't even own your own thoughts because every interview answer is run through a public relationship filter to ensure it doesn't cause a micro controversy on the internet. You realize the ultimate irony of the global superstar lifestyle. You spend the first half of your life desperately wanting to be seen by the entire world, and when you spend the second half of your life desperately trying to find a place where nobody can see you. You think about that basement room from level 1. You remember the taste of that cheap, cold convenience store rice bowl you shared with 3 other trainees after a 12-hour practice session. You remember how much your feet hurt, but you also remember how hard you laughed when someone cracked a stupid joke. You were exhausted, you were broke, and you were nameless, but you were real. You were human. Up here, at level 5, surrounded by millions of people screaming your name, you've never been more successful, but you've never felt that lonely either. And the next chapter of your life is now to find out, beyond the success, beyond the fame, beyond the sparkles, who are you? If you like that video, please subscribe to my channel. I like to make videos like that where I can describe any POV that you like. Maybe you want to be an actress. Maybe you want to be a pop star. Maybe you want to be an author. I'll see you in another video.